All right, we are moving on to lesson 3.3, which was the properties of logarithms. So the short version is that anything that is positive, that's right here and right here, their insides will be in the numerator of the answer. Anybody who's negative, they will be in the denominator of the answer. So not a mandatory step, but it avoids some common mistakes. I'm going to go ahead because you guys have learned all the properties of addition, subtraction over many years. So I want to remind you that those two terms can switch places. So occasionally people get confused on where to put the z, or in this case it's going to be a z cubed. So before we do anything else though, we have a power property that says any coefficients become exponents. So now we have log base 10 of x plus log base 10 of z cubed minus log base 10 of y. So now to finish this up, so inside of our log, anybody who's positive goes on top, and anybody who's negative goes down below. So it's the log. So when you condense, you're only going to have one single logarithm in your answer. Otherwise, it's not right. Okay, let's move on to 25. There is not a single correct first step on this one, so we could disagree. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit here. So personally, for me, I would rather deal with this little piece right there before doing anything else. So that is not a mandatory first step, just a personal preference. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that into 8m cubed over k. And so now the next property we're going to use is the quotient property. So I might need some more room. So what we can do is, because of this quotient right there, we can split it into two separate logs using subtraction. Now, if you look, maybe I'll even add some extra invisible parentheses right there. So now you can see that there's a product inside that log. So now the product property is going to let us split that into two different logs separated by addition. And then our final step is the power property that says any exponents can now come down to be coefficients. But before we finish this problem, I want you to take a closer look at all three of those terms. Sometimes there is additional simplification that you can do. So if you take a closer look, and maybe I'll try the highlighter. If you take a closer look right here, sometimes these turn into things that you already know. And log base 8 of 8 is just the number 1. And then now we can bring that 3 down. Log base 8 of m minus log base 8 of k. Final answer, $1 million. We didn't even need to use a lifeline. Let's see, is that a good stopping point? Let's say that it is. We'll come back and finish up these problems next. Thanks. Bye-bye.